The afternoon of June the 6th, and Lieutenant Todd has been ordered to scout what he thinks could well be empty, shelled German farmhouse. Now, you and I can see all those German troops. If I was playing that with somebody else or with an umpire, they wouldn't be on the board. They're not there. And Todd hasn't seen them. But what he has done is sent out Private Davis as a scout. So now Davis got to the hedge. He's looked over here. He can't see anything. So he's going to use his next two counters to move forward to this hedge. The German that's hiding has got three counters. He's going to lose a counter because the target is in cover. There. So that gives him two counters, which equals 2 dice, and at that range he needs 4, 5 and 6. Wow, the British have been lucky in this game. That's a miss, and alerts Todd and all of the British to the fact that there are German troops on that side of the board. Once the firing starts, Todd rushes all of his men as quickly as possible forward, and the Germans who are behind the barn here and in the woods there all take shots, but the range isn't great and none of them hit. The Bren gunner uses 3 counters to run up behind the green shed. His plan is to try and get up behind the green shed and lay fire into the German troops in the wood, but the German troops in the wood see a chap with a Bren gun running towards them. They've got to take a risk, so they shoot, and they need 6s, and they get him twice. They shoot him in the shoulder, and a bullet scrapes close to his knee, tearing his trousers, drawing a bit of blood, but it doesn't hurt him. But the one in his shoulder needs treatment, and he's now coming back to seek medical help, having been injured. So it's the British. Lieutenant Todd is going to use all 3 of his dice to, well, I could use 2 and open fire with a Stengel, but that German's in hard cover, it wouldn't do any good. He's going to use all 3 as a move, so he's got 11. 11 puts him over here. Germans reduced to 2 dice because they're going to have to move to get a shot. But let's do that. He moves to there in the woods. Just leave him 2. He's got a submachine gun. He's out of range. But he can hold his fire. So then there's a British para here on 12. He comes storming down here. Another German shot is a miss. Another para comes forward at 11. That's pretty much all of that, a flank attack. And the Germans have some sporadic fire in the forests needing 6s. Well, they've got 2 6s. That's him and him. So let's find out those injuries. First man hit, the rifleman, he's hit in the knee. Oh, right, well, the shot comes towards his knee, but it actually clips off the side of the building, and the building saves him. The man with the Sten gun running forward, that bullet is going towards his shoulder. 13. Ah, right. He is senseless on the floor. We don't know why. He could be dead, could be wounded. We do not know. And that's the passage of play to that point. So as the battle hots up on that right flank, Lieutenant Todd went to the wounded man. The yellow counter shows that he had Mills bombs. So he gave up one of his initiative turns, picked up the Mills bombs, ran round hoping to blow the German out of the barn, but the German had run away, and he is now over there in those trees. And slowly Todd is fighting his way to try and engage the German troops around that area. Mercer, on the other hand, here, he's there. He isn't getting any orders because he's got no radio contact. The radio is there, which is a long way away from what's meant to be happening. The runner is down here. The medic is down here. But there's nobody telling them what to do. Now I've just thrown for Sergeant Mercer, and I always throw British get initiative if it's white higher, and that's what I threw there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that Sergeant Mercer takes the initiative to send the runner who's in his squad to Todd to try and get some orders. So he's going to try and run all the way over there. Lieutenant Todd is quite desperate to try and remove the Germans from the farm buildings. He runs around the corner, but the German he's chasing has fled into the wood. However, Todd then sees that within the wood is a small clump of Germans. He grabs the satchel of Mills bombs from a fallen companion, runs for 2 of his D6, and then throws a grenade. And he throws that, which puts the grenade right bang slap in the middle of the clump of enemy. There, no fancy arrows. He kills 1, wounds 2, and drives the rest away, which gives enough of a gap for British soldiers to move up and start to attack the woods. The Germans have fallen back because of the grenade, and as they fall back, Todd and his 2 remaining men rush in. The 2 men open fire, needing 4s. Missed. They lose 1 dice of the 3 for moving, they lose a dice for cover, and that's what they get left. Todd has only moved once, but the men he's fighting are in cover, so it's only really 1 dice. He needs a 4, and he gets it, and with the Sten gun that gives him 3 shots, and the 3 shots give him 1 hit, and the man he hits drops to the floor. There is a German here, but he's now outnumbered. Well, actually, no, we've got the same number. So let's resort to what we always resort to in these circumstances. The smiley face. throws a smiley face, and he gets a very sad, frightened smiley face. And so instead of coming this way, he runs away from there. So in effect, Todd and his men now outnumber the Germans in the woods, who promptly surrender. They surrender, and there's one man wounded. Todd is in a bit of a dilemma now because he's got 2 wounded Germans. He's got 1 prisoner, 2 prisoners that need guarding. It only leaves him with 1 man and himself. And neither of them are trained medics. However, for quite some time now, a runner has been coming from the sergeant, and he now arrives. Todd explains the situation to the runner and apologises, and then sends him back running all that way to tell the sergeant what needs to be done. In the meanwhile, that German has joined the farm's defenders. And while all this is happening, Todd and his man discover in the woodland a half-track hidden amongst those trees. So Todd leaves his private soldier there, and he makes his way quietly and secretly through the trees without being discovered, slowly and steadily, to get to the half-track. By which time the runner has returned to the sergeant. The sergeant's told that medical help is needed desperately, so the medic clears off down that side. There's nobody at the half-track. It does have a machine gun. Todd could get it started. That would be a nasty surprise, wouldn't it? If the Germans' own half-track suddenly ploughed into them from behind, firing. And I've got 3 men, so I'm going to throw what I always throw in these circumstances. If the white's higher, Todd and his men can get the engine going. No, they can't. I got a black 6, I got a white 5. They can't get it working. Presumably that's because the Germans are not daft enough to have left the key. And I'm going to say that he is actually the driver and he's not left the keys. And here we see the attack. So it's gone British way as usual because the Germans can't see anything. And so first British soldier is crouching, which gives him 2 dice instead of 3. That's not very good. That's 2. So he only moves 2 inches. Germans are none the wiser, really. Having said that, they heard firing in the woods, so I've done some throwing, and the Germans, somewhat belatedly, have switched some of their troops to watching out across the woods. And I do feel, and I hadn't felt it before, that the chap who is in command of the half-track should have a look at it. So he goes across the road for a look. The moment he steps into the road, he's hit by a Sten gun and a rifle. So there's a rifle first of all, hits him, and then the Sten gun doesn't hit him. But because I haven't moved counters, I've still got 2 counters there. But anyway, the rifle hit him, and the rifle hits him in his arm, injures him badly enough to step back and recover, but it means that the Germans now know that they've lost the wood. They don't know what they've lost it to because they've not been in to have a look. But I think wake up some more Germans. Let's reinforce the house. Then he's doing nothing. Back there, he can come forward. So, again, now this time the Allies, they've got 3 dice, these lads. So they're going to use 1 to move, 3. And then they've got 2 and so to shoot. So he only moves 1. He's a slow poke. 5. 5 is important. He comes running into there. Okay, Germans. He has a grenade. It's a long way to throw it. He's got a submachine gun. He's not. Oh, we've got a man here hiding. He's just crawling up there. Yeah, he's not really in range. But we know the British are coming now, so we better man the defences a bit more thoroughly than we were doing. There's a German in the house can shoot. He missed. The Germans are in a bit of a dilemma now. This wounded chap would have quite like to get back to his half track. I didn't give him enough counters to make a concerted effort to take the half track back. Okay, but so it's just British left really. So this chap has got 2 shots, 1 hit. Yeah. He's wounded. He's having a wander. He's not happy. He's going to shoot into the farm. 1 hit. He doesn't like the building under fire, so his morale gives a little bit. We've got a man here who's got 2 shots through the hole in the building side. They are both hits. One of them, him, he's dead. That's the radio operator's been shot through the hole in the wall. Right, so if I've got 2 spare counters there. If I reserve fire, okay, I'm using the Germans have got 1, 2. Him 3. I don't need to give him 1. Put him there with them. He's just going to hold there. He's going to hold there. So they've all got 1 counter at the moment. These lads, who's going first? Germans. So these are going to play first counter of 3. And they're going to make a rush across the road, because if they go 1 at a time, they're just going to get picked off. So they're not doing that. They're going for it. That's their first counter. So my response is going to have to be the men in the woods. Sten gun and 2 rifles. 3 hits. One man's hit twice. The man that's hit twice is dead. Let's make it the first one there. And there's a man hit once, and he is okay to carry on. He's not happy, but it's a scratch really. And that's the battle there. So I've got a German there with a clear shot at a 4. Wrong dice. Missed. I'm going to shoot back at him. And I've hit him, but I missed. He saved in the damage throw department. I didn't hurt him. I hurt him, but not enough to stop him fighting. Big tough lads. I've got a German there. Okay, he's going to lose one count. He's only got one counter. That's him done. Okay, brain gun. Brain gun's got 3 counters. He's going to use 1 stepping through there. He's going to use 2 in shooting. First burst is a hit. That's 3. No, there's bullets pinging all over the place. Next Germans, it's pistol. It's out of range. In fact, not only is he out of range, that officer, he's moving further away from the action. Brain gun, second burst. Bit better. 2 hits. Oh, both bullets kill that man. That's not good. He's not happy. Germans. Nobody left in the farm. He's got a submachine gun. We do have rifles, but they're a bit far away. Germans make their second assault on the wood. Still going first. There's only 3 of them now, but they're going to shoot now and try and whittle down the odds. 1 hit. And it's the radio operator, and it hits a tree or a branch above his head, and all leaves and acorns and fall all around him, but he's fine. The Brits fire back. 1 man with a rifle hits the Germans and doesn't kill him, but wounds him so that he has to get medical help. The British around the farm have had all their turns, so it's still Germans now, reserving fire and attacking. So they're going to shoot from where they are. There's no point going into a melee, so they both miss. I honestly don't think that those 2 guys believe they can get back to that carrier. And they are now facing a flank assault here. Got a brain gun setting up there. We've got British troops now here. He's not going to withdraw to the wall, he's going to withdraw into the orchard. I think he is going to pull back round there for a better cover. So he is going to pull back. The officers have gone back. I don't see why he wouldn't. And what a lot of the Germans haven't noticed is just here is the sergeant, and he's crept all that way without that German noticing him. So now he's going to jump out, and he's going to see if he can get that German without even being seen. Yes, he can. So he suddenly turns that corner and just opens a fire with his brain gun and kills the German. The Germans know he's there now, obviously. Right, so this German in the pigsty. Oh, 2 1s and a 2 we missed. Oh, heck. Oh, man. Oh, well, Mercer don't want to be messing with that. He's throwing a hand grenade into the pigsty. No, he's not. Oh, wait, where's that gone? Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. The grenade has hit the pigsty. So he's thrown a grenade from here, dink, it's hit the pigsty and it's bounced and it ended up exploding here. Oh, there's a German in there I'd forgotten about. Oh no! Oh, he survives. I think he's a bit shell shocked, but he survives. So he comes running out of there. Oh my word. And I've just noticed there's another German in here. So he now is going to get a flanking shot at the Brits at the farmhouse wall. And he missed, alerting that British soldier to turn and have a shot. And he hit. The injury is not enough to kill him. Let's resolve that. The German can have another shot. Hits the British soldier. Oh, one, nothing. British soldier shoots back. Nothing. German soldier, final shot. Missed. British soldier, final shot. Hit. Killed him. Gosh. Oh dear. Talk about Germans. Sergeant with a Sten gun in the pigsty. He's 4, 5 and 6. Doesn't get it. Mercer. Final effort now. He's gonna Sten gun. No, he doesn't. Just peppering each other, those two guys. Right, okay. Now what's happening? This German is going to continue running into the orchard. The officer is going to move back to here. He's going to move to here. He's going to move to here. At which point, the German officer now just discovered he has no radio operator. What does he think's happening? I mean, it's hard to know, isn't it, really? He knows that the brain gun carrier's been lost. He knows that firing has now stopped from the Germans in the wood, so he assumes his left flank is lost. He knows the British paratroopers are in the farmyard on both sides of him and making ground. He knows his men haven't been able to get out to the half track. So at this point he feels very gloomy. Now he has too many men to surrender. That's ridiculous. But I think what he's going to do, and I'm going to allow him to do, is anyone within 6 inches, he can hear his order to get out of there. There's a woodland behind them, which is another game. So he shouts in German, "Leg it!" So he tells his mate. So those two fellas run away. Right, they're gone. And they are within 6 inches of him. So they tell him to run away. So he does. And they're next to him. So they run away. I'm just putting them down here because I'll need them in the next game. Similarly, looking this way, all of them are within 6 inches. The more I can get off the table, the better, to be honest. And if he runs, it's not very far, is it? Really? He can run 8, gets him to there, which warns those lads, but not him. Sergeant Mercer, seeing the Germans are withdrawing, cautiously beckons his men forward. Nothing dramatic, lads. Just steady away. It might be a trick. They might be coming back, yeah. Oh, there's any false heroics. Germans turn. If the commander gets a good throw, 9. So if 6 puts him there, that's be 3. Yeah, he moves the 3, he shouts, and then he moves 6, which gets him to a place of safety. He moves 7, puts him there. Todd is doing what he's done all through the game, which is caution. So he sends one man to the edge of the woods to watch what's happening. He's within 6 of Todd, so he reports that the Germans have withdrawn. And by night time, Todd and his men are in possession of the farm, which was their objective. Somebody will get the kettle on and we'll find the wounded, and we'll have a battle report coming next as to what Todd and the 9th Para are asked to do on the 7th of June.